So here's what happened. Got a new phone and the audio was put in, and guess what? It doesn't work. Love that. Anyway, right now I am explaining that we are going to make my most famous, amazing chicken noodle soup, and these are all the ingredients. As you can see, it's garlic, onion. That's my chicken stock back there, 10 cups of that. What else do I have? Celery. Yeah, carrots, and noodles. And that's pretty much everything. Oh, and lemon probably. Anyway, so we are going to mix all of that together, but we're going to start with the carrots so we can. No, we're not. We're going to start with the chicken so we can cook all of that stuff in with the vegetables so it's going to get all that flavor. All right, so right now I'm just going to open up my chicken and we are going to season it. I like to season it with curry. I should have added a little bit of salt, but I figure with the chicken stock, it'll be plenty. So I'm just going to put my curry powder on my chicken. I'm going to put it on both sides. It is my favorite flavor to use when I'm cooking. It is absolutely delicious. Obviously, you can use whatever flavor you like on your chicken. I like curry. I also like Cajun seasoning. It is so, so good. But for this, I'm going to be using curry powder. Yeah, so right now I'm just making sure each side has all that seasoning on it. And then I'm going to turn on my pot, let it get nice and hot, and put a little of Villa olive oil in there. And we are going to get started cooking that chicken. All right, so also I season the chicken in curry because that's my favorite seasoning. I've also used Cajun seasoning. That's my other favorite seasoning, but I'm really addicted to the curry powder. It's my favorite. All right, so we are going to cook the chicken for 3 to 4 minutes, both sides. Then we're gonna take it out and we're gonna put the rest of the stuff in to cook in the chicken leavings. The chicken doesn't have to be cooked all the way through because it's going to cook once you put it back into the soup to cook with the noodles. Oh, good, my audio's gone again. Anyway, so there's the chicken. Now I'm going to start with my carrots so I can caramelize the carrots. I'm also rolling this lemon because I want to get all the juices into it. But anyway, I'm going to start with the carrots to caramelize it. Then I'm going to put in my celery and onions just to make sure that everything is nice and cooked thoroughly. But I also want to make sure I want to cook it in what's left in the chickens just because it tastes so good together. We're going to cook this down until the onions are clear and the carrots are nice and caramelized, which shouldn't take too long. I would say maybe about 2 minutes tops. I have it at high right now. I'm going to move it down to medium once it gets to the amount of cooked that I want it to be. Then we're going to put in the garlic once this is all cooked. And then finally the chicken stock goes in last. As you can see, it was all dark on the bottom because the chicken had been cooking into it. But with the liquids from these veggies, it comes up real nice and it starts to really give the flavor to these vegetables. You don't even need to add anything. You just let the chicken seasoning and the chicken flavor really cook into these veggies and create that amazing smell and flavor. I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit just so that it can really caramelize before I add my garlic. All right, so as you can see, my onion is nice and clear. My carrots are caramelized. Took about 2-3 minutes. I'm gonna put in my garlic now. Again, that does not need a lot. Really, when you start to smell the garlic, that's when you know it's done being cooked, and that's when we're gonna put the chicken stock in. And the reason why we put the chicken stock in when things start to get a little too hot is because it kind of like works as a stopping it from cooking. It's at the perfect cooking temperature, so it doesn't burn, and then it takes on all the flavors that you just cooked. So I already measured out my chicken stock. I can smell my garlic. It is ready. So I'm just gonna start by scooping it in, because this is obviously very full, and we're just gonna put it in and start our chicken soup part. Once I get this to a level, I can just kind of pour it in, but I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't gonna make a mess. Okay, at the bottom, that's all my chicken stock yumminess, because I like to use the Better Than, what the heck is it called? Bouillon, that's right. Better Than bouillon. And so I just use water and that seasoning, and it's amazing. I don't use exactly 10 teaspoons of it for each 10 cups, which is what's recommended. I feel like that's like too much. It gets too salty. I use more like 8 instead, and that's the perfect amount for me. So while this starts getting nice and yummy and the seasonings start getting in there, I'm going to cut up my chicken so it's nice and pieced up, because it's already cooked. It's ready to kind of like pull apart. And then I'm gonna put it into the soup so that I can cook some more. And then I'll show you what we're gonna do with the lemon. And of course, the last thing after we turn off the heat will be our noodles. As you can see, it doesn't look like it's fully cooked because it's not. However, once it goes back into the soup, it will be, and because the soup is, liquid, it'll be nice and juicy and it won't be dried out. This is exactly what you want. So don't freak out if it's not fully cooked, because it'll cook more in the soup. All right, so now that I've just finished, my water is also boiling, which is also great. And I'm going to finish cooking the chicken in my soup so that it stays nice and juicy. Don't worry. The boiling water will kill everything. And now I'm going to show you what to do with the lemon. All right, so what I am doing right now is juicing the lemon, if you will. What I want to do is I want to get all the juices nice and squished up in there, so when I cut it open, it just squirts all out, which is what we love. But I'm also going to be zesting the lemon skin, to give even more flavor. Now, the reason why I add lemon to my chicken noodle soup is because it adds this incredible brightness and flavor. It's unbelievable. So let's get started with that. Let me cut this. Actually, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna zest it. I'm gonna put it in there, and then I'm gonna put the juice of this entire lemon in there as well. Last thing that goes in are the noodles. So now all I'm going to do is add my noodles and let it sit and get absolutely delicious. I'm gonna take it off of the heat and I'm just gonna let the soup cook it. These noodles are gonna get nice and fluffy and delicious. All right, so all I did was literally just leave this, just let it sit for about 30 minutes and look how amazing it is. The noodles just soak up the flavor and the chicken stock. It's so good. So let's try it. All right, so obviously this is very hot. That lemon just adds such the perfect amount of brightness. It's so good. Not too salty, phenomenal. This is the perfect cozy soup. So if you want all the ingredients, just ask. I'll make sure to put it in the comments. And yeah, I hope you had an amazing day. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Until next time.